Today we're going to be talking about something that has received a lot of contention ever since Le Guin landed. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be talking about the wonders of gene clinics. So here's the scenario. You're starting the game and you have picked yourself a nice little species, and now it's time to start building up. And of course you're playing as a standard humanoid species or something along those lines, not one of those machines or hive minds. So you've come across the wonders of technology, and of course the wonders of that technology being, well, it is of course the gene clinic technology. Yes, genetic healthcare, which unlocks the gene clinic building. But now you've decided to go and build one of these. Should you though? That is the question. Well, it's a bit of a complicated one because, well, gene clinics by themselves, as they basically work, they turn 10% additional pop growth speed out, which is nice, you know. Pop growth speed is always good. If we go to our population tab, and we can see that we've built one of them here, in combination with genome mapping, which is basically the gateway into gene clinics, it gives us a nice boost of 20%, but it's a trap. That's right, yes, it's actually not as good as advertised. 10% may seem like a lot, but it is not. And why is that the case? Well, the problem with pop growth speed in the game is that it is based on a base pop growth, and that works in the following way. Every single time a pop grows, it needs to reach 100% pop growth, and, well, not so much 100%, but 100 points of pop growth. And the base is that you get 3 a month, at least as long as you don't have any sort of traits, etc. And as soon as you get to that point of 100, it hits the proper marker, and it doesn't run over, by the way, so you will lose that 1 point of pop growth speed at the end there. But that's a whole different discussion. So you've got 3.0 pop growth speed. This translates to quite some time. It effectively comes down to 33 months, which is 2.7 years until you have your pop grown, which by itself may not seem like a lot, but once you start adding modifiers to that, it may ramp up a little bit. But 10% though, well, we're not really discussing the actual bonus that we're getting here. The real contention is with the fact that the requirements to use the gene clinic is a building slot, and B, using 2 of your pops in order to get to the point where you want to be, as in getting those that 10% pop growth speed. So is this worthwhile? Well, any sort of flat modifiers is always worthwhile. A 10% bonus from genome mapping is great. Any from rapid breeding, that 10% is a great modifier. You can always add that. But the cost of applying a pop, as well as the cost of applying a building slot to pop growth, especially with 10%, is a bit of a, and I want to say the word trap, really, because if we go to our planetary summary here and we look at our gene clinic, we can see here it takes up a single building slot, something that we could have used for something else, because our next building slot will not unlock till we have 35 pops, at least when we have the Prosperous Unification starter, which is with the base game. And on top of that, you know, it's going to take a while to get everything done. It's actually 56 years until we have basically grown enough pops to offset the time that is used in the gene clinic. So it takes us 56 years of productivity of 2 pops in order to get the value out of the gene clinic. And that by itself is pretty crazy, but it goes even further than that. Let's say hypothetically that you want to build gene clinic, and instead of, say, a alloy foundry, right? Okay, so let's put this thing into perspective here. An alloy foundry over that 56 years generates 2,016 alloys. That is a reasonable amount, especially at the start of the game. 2,016 alloys is pretty big. Consumer goods, 4,032. Research, just over 2,500 units of research. That's what we could have gotten during that time frame instead of getting those 2 pops back that are currently working on the gene clinic. And that is lost productivity. We could have used those alloys to expand. We could have used those consumer goods to make decisions, to distribute luxury goods, etc. There's a lot of value here that is lost by building the gene clinic, which is really, really unfortunate. But that's not even the end of it. In order to offset it completely, we're going to need to double that 56 years, which is 672 months times 2, to get the value out of the pops that we didn't have before. So in order to get the value there, to get those 2016 alloys, we will need to wait another 56 years, not applying modifiers, in order to get that value, which is a pretty big deal in my personal opinion. Pops are life, and it's anywhere in this game I can guarantee you that you always want to optimize your pop usage. And gene clinics, whilst very interesting on paper, and if you're a new player and you see, wow, 10% pop growth, ASpec has always told me that pop growth is good because pop growth means pops, and pops is life. Yes. Don't do it, because there is a big caveat there, which is, of course, the 2 pops that have to work there. Instead, however, build a robot assembly plant. So if we go to our population tab here and look at our assembly, we will see it will take 15 months to build a robot pop here. And that goes in parallel with the normal growth pop there, which is nice because robot pops, you can specialize, you have double capacity, which is really good. I really like that as a modifier. 2.0 is a huge deal, especially if we consider that we're going to get only 0.3 out of the pop job here, which is rather unfortunate. I'm not a big fan of it at all. But this is the thing. Would you really, what kind of scenario would a gene clinic actually be useful in? Well, first of all, you need to be kept alone for 120 years. So let's say that you're locked behind 2 fallen empires, you're completely boxed in, you're forced to play tall. Gene clinics is a good idea because you're not going to go anywhere anytime soon, so you may as well get some pops and some value out of that. Same thing with inward perfectionists. If you're an inward perfectionist, you're not going to go out anywhere anytime soon anyway, so you may as well get those gene clinics, and in 112 years, you will be in a good spot because you will be producing more than all the other empires that didn't go for gene clinics, which is objectively somewhat valuable. On top of that, we do get some amenities being produced here by these here pops. If we actually go into the medical workers, we will see that they do generate 5 amenities per user, which is okay. It's not great, but if you're in a pinch and you can't build any of the entertainment centers or HoloLabs or anything like that, then it's maybe a good idea. It's really contentious. Let's put it that way. So yeah, long story short, are gene clinics worthwhile? No. Don't build gene clinics. I know they come up very early in the game, but you can use the pops for something else. Use them to build alloys. Use them to get research. Use them to get civilian industries, or even get robots with them, because all of those are more valuable than a potential 2 more pops in 56 years from now. Unless you're playing the long game. But that is a whole different discussion. I want to thank my viewers for making this possible. And of course, you patrons out there. You've been amazing. I always post the script for this before the video goes up, which is a nice little bonus for you guys as well if you're hanging out on the Discord or the Patreon page, so you have an idea on what I'm working on, which is nice. But still, thank you so much. We're going to go and wrap this thing up here. If you want to see more videos, such as the announcement of the new civics, as well as the new other items that are coming out with the upcoming species pack, feel free to click on one of these 2 videos that are on your screen right now. It does help me out greatly because of that click-through rate. But in the meantime, we're going to go and say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves. And remember, friends don't let friends build gene clinics.